let's get this shit show on the road. Okay. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tati, and today I'm going to be doing something different. So you may or may not know this, but I usually shy away from TBRs because I'm very much a mood reader, and I have a really hard time sticking to TBRs. So I decided to try something new that I've been doing for the last like 2 months, like just very quietly by myself, and it's setting up reading goals for the month, right? So trying to get to certain books and just like trying to accomplish certain reading goals, but not feeling terrible about it at the end of the month if I didn't get there. So I decided to try to put this into a video because I watched my friends Skylar's and Isania's videos and they were fantastic. So I think I'm gonna try this out, see how it works. Maybe it'll become a monthly thing, maybe it won't. We'll see. So let's get started. I decided to divide this video into like 3 parts. The books I definitely need to get to in October, like definitely need to be read by the end of the month because of one reason or another that I will explain. Part 2 is like really want to try to get to this month, like these are like top priority books, I could say. And then part 3 is more like if I have the time and want, then I'll get to those. Cool? So let's get started with part 1. Part 1 is kind of big, kind of small, because like, I don't know, my brain just divides things into weird ways. So I'm gonna start with the boring stuff. Okay, no, not boring. I'm gonna start with like the responsible part of me that needs to get to these books, because these are like my university reads that I need to get to this month. And so I'm just gonna blast through those really quickly because I don't really need to talk about them all that much. Those are Macbeth by William Shakespeare, King Lear by William Shakespeare, A Rage in Harlem by Chester Himes, City of Glass and Ghosts by Paula Auster, and Mumbo Jumbo by Ishmael Reed. So those are the 5 books that I need to get to for school. I'm taking a Shakespeare class, which is why the 2 Shakespeare plays, and I'm taking a crime lit class, which composes the other 3 books on the TBR. I also have to read for my studies and poetry class, but that's like not a whole book, so I'm not really gonna include it in this TBR. And for the other 2 books in this like first part of the video that I absolutely need to finish in October are Laserwrath Games by Amparo Ortiz. I'm reading this is an ARC that I got I'm participating in the book tour for this book, so I need to finish it. I'm like halfway through. I am absolutely terrible at reading books that I'm gonna review because it takes me so long to read them, because I'm paying attention to everything, and I'm analyzing and I'm taking notes at the same time, so it takes me forever to get through them. I've been reading this book for 2 months, which is very strange for me. I tend to finish books pretty quickly, but this is gonna get finished in either today or tomorrow, something like that, because this bad boy needs to get done. The other book that I absolutely have to finish in October is Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare, because I am doing this for our live show. Our live show this month is on September 25th at 12 p.m. Is it Atlantic Standard Time? Eastern Standard Time. Atlantic. I am on the Atlantic Standard Time, I believe. 12 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time, and it's gonna be on my channel. So bad boy needs to get read. So that concludes like the first part of like the books that I absolutely need to read this month. These are because of, like I said, circumstances. I have made compromises on these books, especially with the ARC that I'm reading and with the Cassandra Clare that I'm reading, and the other 5 are just because they are school commitments. So this is like the part of the video that like has to get read. Like, you need to see it in my wrap up, otherwise I did something wrong and I fucked up. Second part of the video, in which I talk about the books that I really want to get to this month. So here we go. I'm not big on Halloween, but for some reason I'm feeling it this year, which is so strange because I'm living in a place that doesn't really experience seasons. So, but I don't know, this year I decided that I wanted spooky vibes in October, so that's what we're doing. And so 2 of the books that I want to get to in October are classic monster vamp books. One of them is part of the books I really needed to read in 2020. I made a video about it earlier in the year. And so one of those books is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I was supposed to read this junior year of high school and I absolutely did not. I read about half of it and then I gave up. And so we're gonna read this, not just spooky vibes and not also just because I put it on the list of books that I really needed to get to this year, but also just because of my own pride. I need to finish this book. Throughout the years after I graduated high school, I've been systematically like finishing the books that I was supposed to finish, but I never did in high school. So this is mostly, that one's like mostly just mainly for my pride. The second book is Dracula by Bram Stoker. This is the classic vampire book. And I've never read it. This is gonna be my first time reading it. And I'm excited about it. So yeah. We're gonna get to this hopefully this month. And then to modernize things a little bit is a book that I should have read months ago when I first got it, but I haven't yet. I started it and I never finished it, and that is Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. You can see by the fact that there's already tabs on it that I started reading this book when I first got it, and then I got busy and I started reading other things, and so I haven't finished it. And we're gonna read it this month. I really want to get to it this month because October, Halloween, vamps. So I'm here for the vampire angst, and also just because like I want to film my rant review for this because I already know this is gonna be a rant review. At least I'm pretty sure that it might be. So, and now for the third part of the video is the books that if I have the time and I'm in the mood for it, I really want to get to them. So here we go. The Kill by L.J. Smith. So I already read The Hunter and the Chase, and this book is on my list of books that I needed to read in 2020, just like Frankenstein. And so I read the first two books in this trilogy, and I haven't got into the third one yet. And it's mostly because the second one was such a disappointment that I just haven't been able to bring myself to read the third one. But we're gonna do it. I really want to finish this before the end of the year because I really want to mark this off the list. So I'm gonna do my best to be able to get to this book this month. Second book in this third part is White is Bewitching by Helen Oyoyemi. I read this while I was in my senior year of my bachelor's degree, and I loved it, and I kind of want to, I've been wanting to reread it for a while now, so I think this is a perfect time. This is total haunted house spooky vibes because the house is kind of alive in this. So yeah, I really want to get to this if I have the time. It's not a long novel, so I'm pretty sure I'll be able to squeeze it in somewhere. Another book that I really want to try to get to in October if I have the time is Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. This is a recent release. I think it released last month and I bought it, and I really want to try to get to this if I have the time. This is an LGBT read, so I'm always looking for those, and my TBR right now is looking hella straight, so gotta balance that shit out. But yeah, if I have the time, I really want to get to this, but so who knows. But also with the amount that I read this in September, I wouldn't be surprised if I actually do manage to get to it. Some other books that I have like on my radar for this month are These Witches Don't Burn by Isabella Sterling, I think it is the author's name. I have that on my Kindle, and I haven't gotten around to reading it, so if I want some like softer witchy vibes, I'll definitely try to get to that. And the other book that I really want to try to get to this month is Harvest of Sighs by Sierra Simone. So if you've watched, I think this was on my June wrap-up, I read A Lesson in Thorns and Feast of Sparks, and I quite enjoyed them, and I read them with Skylar and Taylor, and I quite enjoyed them, and I kind of want to get to Harvest of Sighs next, especially because the fourth book in the series, the fourth and final book in the series, comes out on Halloween. I already have it pre-ordered, don't look at me. So I want to try to get it done so that as soon as Doors of Bruises comes out on Halloween, I can get to that. So yeah, we're gonna try. I realized that I have set some very ambitious reading goals for this month, but also, as I'm gonna talk about in my wrap up for September, I just had like the best reading month that I've ever had. So I think I can do this. I think I can achieve this. I believe in myself. I might not get to all of these books, but I'm gonna try. Like, if I manage the bare minimum of my goals, which is 1, to keep up with my school readings, and 2, to finish Blaze Wrath Games and Clockwork Prince, I'm gonna be happy. Like, no matter what, that's still 7 books that I'm gonna have read this month, so I'm gonna be happy no matter what. But if I can get to all these other books, or like a chunk of them, I'm gonna be extra happy. So yeah, this is just, it's not a TBR, it's just my reading goals for the month. It's very vague, and I'm not gonna be too upset about it if I don't like finish all these books or read all these books. These are just like things that I'm keeping on my radar for October. I specifically picked books that are like spooky vibes because I'm feeling it. I think it's just because like I have friends that are really into Halloween and October, so I think they have inspired me more than anything to like take on this like spookier TBR instead of just like reading whatever the fuck I want, as I usually do. So yeah, I have rambled on enough, I think, for like this video. Comment down below what you're gonna be reading in October, what your spooky vibes are gonna be. Yell at me about some of these books, if I should bump some of them up, if some of them should be like absolutely must get tos on this month. I gladly take them into consideration. Like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff if you want to. Thank you for spending this time with me. I have been Tati, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye.